Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Sunday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to just have a discussion on what happened today, and partly the political happenings which have happened in the course of the week. Before we start, allow me to take this opportunity to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you are watching for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Once again, we want to have a discussion on matters of politics, especially those which happened yesterday and today, where we've seen continued proposal by the government side and Raila Odinga's side, that is the former prime minister's side, advocating and talking about the dialogue, while at the same time, the opposition side are saying, no, it is not good, it is not safe for the people of Kenya to have a dialogue, and they have their own reasons. At the same time, we will talk about the tour of the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, and Martha Karua to the United States of America, where they've been meeting the people of Kenya who stays in America, that is the people in diaspora. Of course, the whole reason is to seek for their support in the coming general election. So partly that is what we want to discuss tonight. If you're joining, kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutashukuru. I'll give Migura a chance to also say hi and tuambie vile mambo kuko.
Hello, how are you? Evening from my side. Hope all is well. I've been doing great and just chilling for the weekend. We hope that the week will be okay, and we have been following keenly on the both political side, trying to bring up what is called dialogue, but others are opposed to it. We hope that at the end of the day, we are going to make it very calm for the entire country.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Judith at the comment section and say thank you for finding time to join us. Yeah, so Mr. Migura, first I want us to start by the politics, which whatever is happening in Kenya, where we've seen the deputy president moving around the Republic of Kenya, saying that he's doing what we call empowerment of youths and wakina mama and the society, according to his words. And he's been moving around with some members of parliament, of course, led by the PA of the president, and members of parliament as well, Honorable Soro, Honorable Ishungwa, among others. And their call, currently they are speaking about urging the people of Kenya to welcome the dialogue. And, the deputy president is speaking about the same issue, saying that the people of Kenya should not condole the politics of division, which is being propagated, driven by the former deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua. Those are the words of, Professor Kindiki. The likes of the PA, that is Farouk Kibet, is also calling for dialogue and saying that this is the only government that has worked, a government that has performed, a government, according to him, that has, delivered for the people of Kenya. Honorable Soro is also, speaking the same language, and he went ahead and said that, they are calling for dialogue. And of course, Raila is also calling for dialogue. And according to his statement, he's saying that the only person who is saying that the person who has what we call the country at heart, and the only person who has saved the country, according to his statement, is saying is Raila Amolo Odinga, and therefore people should embrace what we call dialogue. And they've been moving around sometimes, castigating the opposition at the same time. What do you have to say about this, Migoda?
I can just say that from my point is that the opposition side, no, the government side, they're trying to campaign or they are campaigning because currently it's like there is a realignment whereby there one term and two term comes. We have no two term. Now the two term people are trying to make it look like they are the not all, that they are the people who have the solution to the current problem we have, and they are the people who have the solution to the current challenges. Now, to me, I believe that the likes of Osoro, the likes of DP, Kindiki, they have a duty to ensure that they persuade the people that actually they have made progress. Of course, they have done 1, 2, 3, which we are not in dispute. So they have to also persuade the issue of articulating government policies, because they cannot go to the rallies to articulate one term or the Wamunyoro or the opposition. They just have to stick with their mandate. So that is why they are insisting on the dialogue. And that's why they are insisting that the only person who can salvage the country, or who has salvaged the country, is the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So I believe that is just a political discourse whereby you have to believe and to your ideology, and you also have to articulate them. The same way the opposition people are also anti-dialogue. They are anti-dialogue because it does not fit them. I think that is what they are trying to do. To me, it's just like I can say it's a matter of emerging issues, because initially we had them campaigning and we have them going to the rallies about empowering women, but there was no conversation of dialogue. But since the former Prime Minister clearly indicates that we need dialogue as a nation, it has now forced the DP camp to embrace the conversation because they are in broad government, and also to spread the gospel to their supporters that the only route to salvage the current situation is dialogue. That's why I'd say that to me, political sentiments or whatever they have to articulate, it is within their own place to do so, because that is the best they can do right now. You can't expect them to oppose dialogue, and it's coming from them. That's why the other team has to oppose it.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to also welcome Mr. Barak, and I'll give him a chance to say hi, and then maybe can also give us his take on what the deputy president, together with the peer of the president, among other politicians, that is Honorable Soro, Ishungu, among others, they've been moving around the country, and they're doing what we call empowerment, according to their statement, and they're saying that they're trying to empower the youths, they're trying to empower the women, they're trying to empower the society. But again, in that kwa hiyo msafara wanasema ya kwamba the only way to solve the problem currently is engagement in dialogue. And Osoro said that Raila has contributed much, and that the people who are castigating the dialogue call, they are not really, they do not really care about the country, because according to him, Raila has done so much, and if he calls for dialogue, the people of Kenya needs to listen to him. And then, the president also spoke today, and he said that it is the parents who are inciting their children to get or to go to the street. And he's saying that the parents they have a responsibility to tell the children that it is not good to be, if they have issues, to be going to the street, that it is not good manners. And yeah, so maybe you can first say hi, and then maybe you give your take on that. Yes, Barack, maybe allow me to also acknowledge the presence of Maureen Favor at the comment section. Maureen is saying Raila is calling dialogue with Ruto, so is it the same parties? Okay, I can also see a good friend Laban Misiani at the comment section. Thank you so much, Laban. Thank you so much, Laban, for also finding time to be with us. Yes, Mr. Barak.
Thank you, Bwana Mark.
I was
Good
actually
evening.
giving you a screen and then now umepotea tena.
Okay, asante sana Mark na Miguda and all our viewers, greetings. I'm so delighted to join this evening. Well, you are talking about those who are doing economic empowerment, and the name for what they are doing is called politics of poverty. You know, where politicians come with what we can call handouts, then they give you, then they tell you that they're empowering you, and if you look at what they've given you, it is not able to transform your life in any way. So that is basically called politics of poverty, where it's like you are laughing at the conditions of your electorate in the name of empowering them with your project. So what they are doing is just politics, and it's one way of keeping the political activities active, where we have something to talk about each and every day or each and every week. We have something to talk about, and also trying to keep the ground, the electorates engaged with politics, so that you don't, because you know Kenya is a political country where almost everything is politicized. So if you are not in the equation, sometimes you might be forgotten. So you must find something to keep you engaged with the people. And this is one of them. You remember, it's something that was started by just recently with the office of the deputy president and President Ruto's aide. And so a few politicians have been very much engaged in it, the like of also Kimani Ichung'wah, Silvana Sosoro, and sometimes even the Speaker of the National Assembly goes to these empowerment events. And if you look at these specific politicians who go to this empowerment project, they're politicians who are having issues back in their constituencies. So they must find something to keep them busy in other constituencies, because they have problems in their backyard because of the changing political landscape. So that is how I can define that. But it's not something that really can impact the people economically. But politically, yes, because it's politics of poverty. So and another thing that you talked about is the Osoro saying that Raila has done so much for this country, and what his opinion should be taken seriously. In terms of Raila's contribution to the political landscape of this country, I don't think that is debatable, because the history is there, and what his track record is also there. So I said yesterday, and I will say again today, it is not if people will go to dialogue, it's when will this dialogue take place, and how will it take place. Those are the questions that people should be debating, because there is no other way. I can assure you, people should be debating who will be going to this dialogue, and how can we nominate people who are competent enough, people who are going there to represent our interest. Remember, any constitution that is vibrant like Kenyan constitution should be reviewed after a certain period of time. Right now, we are 15 years since we started. We promulgated 2010 constitution, so we should be discussing on how can we review our constitution. Yeah, and that this cannot happen if people are not having dialogue, because even the problems that we have right now, they are as a result of this 2010 constitution. I know people say we have the most progressive constitution in the world, and so on and so forth, but there are some problems that we have as a country that are as a result of this constitution. And one of them is the political system that we have that is not that is so polarizing. And another thing is, if you if you do what we call evaluation, if you evaluate the effectiveness of the 47 counties, it has been suggested that is it possible for us to reduce this 47 county, because some of them are not viable. They are like constituencies. So can we have a sober dialogue so that we can even review our constitution, so that we can even disband commissions that are not serving the interest of Kenyans, so that we can even we scrap off some seats that are irrelevant. Just listen to, if you listen to what the woman rep for Wajir said yesterday, and you listen to what the Bomet woman rep said the other day about rounds and how men's go, I don't know how many rounds. So you will realize that this, especially this seat of women rep, can we evaluate it and see whether it is serving the interest of Kenyans, and the intended affirmative actions to ensure that we increase the number of women leaders, not leaders, but members of parliament. Was that met? And does it even improve the role of women in political leadership? So can we evaluate this and maybe ask ourselves, is it okay for us to continue having this seat, or is it time for us to scrap it off? And if it's okay for us to continue having it, for how long? Yeah, such conversations for the good of the country, because we have this constitution could create so many positions that others are not even viable, others are not even serving the interests of the country, but we cannot scrap them off until we have dialogue. So it is just a matter of when, and you will see this conversation going on, because we need to talk as Kenyans and decide where do we want to take our country. And you talked about also Ruto telling parents to, I don't know, to advise their children or to ensure that their children have manners. I think this is not the first time he's saying this. He has said it before. And you know, I think he's also a parent and he has children. I think others are millennials, others are Gen Z. So maybe he also having challenges with his children as a parent. And sometimes you talk and you give advice that people will translate differently because of political reasons. So I will not really go into detail about his remarks, but being a parent and the parents of Gen Zs or Alpha or Millennium, I think they are facing similar challenges across the country. And you know, and also the education system that these days children are given, you find that we have challenges with the discipline in school. You see, even yesterday there's a school that was closed. Students were on the rampage. They were on strike. I heard that they were saying one term, Larry High School, I believe so. So you find that so many schools, even these days, the dorms are burned down and they are closed. So I think the issue of discipline, they differ from family to family, because children are disciplined from the family level. And there's a say that says that the Swahili people say that asiyefunzwa na mzazi hufunzwa na ulimwengu. So once they get out from the family, they get into the world. If they do not get good grounding in terms of mannerism and discipline, then now they will have to face the world, and the world knows how to shape such behavior. So that is individual problems depending with which family someone comes from. So I think it should not be even a national debate. Back to you, Banamak.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Barak. I just wanted to ask you something again on this dialogue thing. You know, it's Raila Amolo Odinga, the former prime minister, who started the conversation of the dialogue. And so far, we are also seeing, you know, the deputy has now started talking about it, Ishungwa, Osoro, and close allies of the president. And, you know, we've never heard of the president speak about this. And the question I want to ask you is, you know, the president, the buck stops with the president. And, you know, it is the president who has the final say when it comes to, for example, the issue of dialogue, the issue of settling, the current problems which are going on in the Republic of Kenya. But we've not seen him come out to speak about it. More of his conversation has been directed on, you know, do I say threats to the youths? And my question to you: do you think from the conversation, the dialogue conversation which is going on, and the statement of the president, do you think the president really supports this dialogue? Do you think he has, a good, he is welcoming this dialogue? Do you think he is for the dialogue? For example, from his remarks and how he's been trying to to communicate to the people, and how safe is that for the people of Kenya, or how unsafe is it, Barak?
Well, I think sometimes it is not the president who has the final say in terms of whether we have the dialogue or not have the dialogue, but it is depends with the mood of the country. If you look at when the country was agitating for the new constitution, the then president was very reluctant on coming up with structures to ensure that we have a new constitution. So civil society organization and religious leaders, and they started what they called Ufungamano Initiative. And through Ufungamano Initiative, they started dialogue and talking to each other, talking to one another, and now gathering the view. And if you remember, PLO Lumumba was the secretary general of that of that team, and there was a professor called Professor Yash Palgai. So these are the people who ended up now spearheading the Bomas conference, where the first draft that was heavily borrowed from was enacted. So you find that sometimes it depends with the mood of the country, and the president being the head of state and head of government, if this dialogue thing gains momentum, and it gains momentum, and some groups start joining in, religious leaders, religious groups, NCCK, the Catholic Conference of Bishops, and so on and so forth, you'll find that he will have no other, even those who are opposing from I heard that those who are opposing from the other side, the opposition, because the dialogue is not about Ruto, it's not about the government of Ruto, it's about the country and the future of the country. Yeah. But when you reduce it to Ruto, Ruto is in power up to 2027. He will seek re-election. If he's re-elected, the longest time is 2032. Then he will go home. Kenya is here to stay. Yeah, you are here. You have aspiration as Marco Buddha. You have as aspiration to live in this. You have achievement that you want to achieve in this country. So you cannot reduce a dialogue to just and leave it to the hands of the president. It must involve different sectors, different people, different age, so that people have different aspiration. Your aspiration as a young person in this country is not the same with the aspiration of someone who is 70 years old. Yeah, you have different aspiration, even in terms of vision. Your vision cannot be equated to a vision of someone who is in his 60s or even in their 70s. That's why it is supposed to be intergenerational, so that people share ideas and they exchange, they compare, they exchange ideas, and we settle on ideas that are good for the country, not ideas that are good for the government, or that are good for the president, because he's just in a caretaker for the time being. In 2027, he will seek re-election. If he's lucky, he gets re-elected, maximum 5 years. But what about you? What do you want to see this country in 10 years beyond Ruto? Where do you want to see this country in 20 years? Yeah. So those are the questions that Kenyans should be asking themselves. Let us not be short-sighted that we're just seeing President Ruto dialogue. President Ruto government is failing us. So and so, if we do not sort it right now, even the coming government will just fail Kenyans, because maybe there are some foundational issues in this constitution that are not really working, but we cannot really see them on our when we are not coming together to share our experiences, to share our ideas, and to chart the way forward that will ensure that this country achieves its dreams. For another issue, you imagine we are always talking about Vision 2030. Yeah, 2030 is now 5 years away. I don't know. in 2030, will we have achieved what Kibaki and his cabinet, the aspirations that they were entrenched in that vision, will we have achieved them in 2030? Yeah. And if not, what can we do to ensure that in the remaining time, yeah, as a country, we take a direction that will ensure that at least the aspirations what there in the vision 2030 are achieved in 2030. But if we continue antagonizing each other and this push and pull, even Tanzania in the long run will overtake us economically, and we will be saying that in 2020 Kenya's was the biggest economy in East Africa, but in 2050 we might be even number 4 after Tanzania, Uganda, and Somalia. That's my take.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak, for giving us your take. Now, I want to just get Mr. Miguda's take as well on the issue of the IEBC. We've seen politicians coming out and criticizing, some of them have been criticizing the fact that the IEBC, that the commission took long before it was put in place. And, part of the reason why the 2017 general election was nullified, it was because, the IEBC then came out and said that they did not really have enough time to do what we call, to put the house in order, and that was that is what really happened. That is part of the reason why the election was nullified. And the other day we saw the IEBC commission, of course, including the chairman, was they came to office. And you know very well that we have quite a number of constituencies that lost their members of parliament. We've got quite a number of members of parliament, whether nominated, some of them died, and they have to come out and settle that. The issue of boundary revision, the issues of boundary, they need to look into. And they're also new into the office, so they might take long to get to understand what is really happening. My question to you, Mr. Miguda, and then Barack will also give his take, is: do you think the IEBC currently, with the timeline that is remaining, they have what it takes to ensure that we have, an election that is not going to be, questioned? That's number one. We've seen close allies of the president, coming out to say that there's a possibility of them even rigging. Just like yesterday, the member of Women Rep, Honorable Fatuma, came out and said in open daylight that wataiba na si siri. And such kind of comments. So you had the PA at some point, Farouk also came out and said that, kukienda vibaya bado wataiba. And these comments, we've had them, and especially majority of members of parliament who've spoken about it. Some of them are coming from the northeastern. We heard of Garissa town member of parliament also had the same sentiments. And my question to you is, what is your take on the plans by the IEBC, they are going to do? And then something else that maybe you can give your take on is with the many wordings, some of them negative, some of them positive, coming from the political side, do you think this kind of stance might affect their performance? And remember, national elections are things which are seriously contested. What do you think with this stance that we are currently seeing? How is it going to affect how is it going to affect the thinking and the beliefs of the people? Will they continue having the fear that since the president is in power, is seeking for re-election? You remember the 2022, we were hearing of things like deep state, state power and such kind of things. How are these things going to play forth? Brother Miguda, and then Barak, you'll give us your take as well. Allow me, maybe before you come in, to acknowledge the presence of Annie at the comment section, and Mabella #1. Thank you so much for engaging us at the comment section. We appreciate Mr. Miguda?
First, first you have to recognize that IBC is a commission, is one of the commission in our constitution, and it is also independent body. And its primary role is to ensure that we have an election, and is a constitutional body that can only conduct elections in this country. That is why it must be constituted whatever, because it's very bad for our elections, and we need it to be in place. You have asked that people are complaining that it has been constituted late. To me, it is better for us to have it than not having it at all, because we need it. Our elections are just around the corner, and there's no reason why we can say or argue that it has been constituted late. Now we can't go for elections. What is it that they need for us to go for elections? It's just money, and maybe the tender for the ballots. That's only what they need. So if what is it that they need else apart from the tendering, printing ballot papers, and also publishing the names and clearing the candidates? Their role is just as easy as I've explained. That's why I believe that it's very important for us to have it, because we cannot talk about 27 minus IEBC. IEBC must be in place for us to talk about 2027. You have also said that the 2017 elections were nullified because the IBC was not constituted in the right time. I believe that it was nullified on the illegalities and irregularities, and the basic point was that actually Maraga argued that elections are process, not an event whereby you just wake up in the morning, vote, and go back. There must be a process, and that's why it was nullified. But the process was not in accordance with the provisions of the Elections Act laws. So, to me, the current IBC, if they have time, they can just state whatever, because I told you it's an independent body and it's a commission actually being funded by the taxpayers' money. So you cannot argue that there's no fund to fund IBC. No, there is money for the IBC allocated to them. They can carry out their task. That is what I believe by the issue of it coming. Now the new people have come. We expect them to conduct by-elections, and all of us, including the oppositions and the government, we have agreed that we are anticipating for the by-elections, and we have prepared that we can face just so that we can know who is who in the by-elections. The issue of the IEBC, as we have been victims, even if you are a victim, we are dealing with the scenario whereby we have competitors. If IBC declared your candidate, you look like IBC's bias. But if you are not declared, maybe if he decide to declare you, then you are going to praise IBC. So it's something that I can say that when it suits me, then the commissions are okay, and when it doesn't suit me, the commissions are not okay. Because let me tell you one thing. Remember in 2017, the example you have given me, the chairperson was the late Chebukati. Chebukati had issues, and the elections which he presided in 2017 was nullified. We had another election in 2022. Chebukati was still the chairperson for the IBC. The same people, and I can say William Ruto and the team, they said Chebukati is good, so Chebukati can conduct another elections. Raila was urged to drop Chebukati. They said no, leave him alone. So the Ruto supporters were okay with the IBC and the chairpersons, because Chebukati was going to favor their candidates. Right now, they're suspicious that the current chairperson is going to favor William Ruto. Now, the opposition are saying that IBC is having an issue. The same way the Raila team was saying IBC is having an issue. That's why I've told you that here, when it suits you, IBC is okay. But when there's some elements of favoritism or guys, then IBC is not properly constituted. I think you get the argument, because I'm speaking about the people who are saying Chebukati is fine, we can have him for 2022, and the election which he presided was nullified by the court. He was not supposed to be there. Right now, the current chairperson was the county attorney for the Turkana when Nanok was the governor. He's an ally to Nanok to an extent, he's an ally to the Orange Democratic Movement Party. Currently, the ODM is an ally to UDA. Now, the opposition has seen it that it doesn't deem fit for him to preside because of that affiliation. The same thing happened. Chebukati was not deemed fit because he affiliated with the Ruto and the team to get 2022 election. So to current commission is not suitable. I have issues that the current commission is not suitable. The previous commission was also not suitable. The same thing. That's the issue of IEBC. And also, you have talked about the issue of preparation. That's why I told you that we don't need anything. We are okay to go. Because before 2017 elections, when we went to Supreme Court, by that time, Dr. Mutunga was the one presiding at the CJ. The question was raised about the registration or identification biometrically. Then before the 2017 elections, before the 2030 election actually, there was a proposal. By the time we have Mundusumkati, Odinga was the prime minister, Kibaki was the president. Then there was issue of procurement, whereby they were going to procure the BVR kits. And once the BVR kits were allocated to be procured by the office of the prime minister, then now they had no issue with the IEBC. It was okay because about the issue of tender. After they procured it, then Uhuru was declared with that IEBC. So to me, IEBC, there's a lot of interest. Issue of procurement, issue of commission, issue of declaration. That's why I cannot just have a stand that this is okay, this is not okay, because it has happened before. And lastly, IEBC is just like a referee in my view. Most of us here are fans of English Premier League. Actually, Barak is a fan of Manchester United. Marco Obure is a fan of Manchester United. And our good friend Joseph Kariuki is a fan of Manchester United. Gypsy Corner is a fan of Liverpool. Judith Karitha is a fan of Arsenal. I too support Manchester United. We watch Premier League. And there is even this issue of the VAR. The referee, sometimes we end up saying, okay, you people, you are assisted by the referee, or mostly you people, you are being assisted by the VAR. But at the end of the day, the person who has won the match must be awarded those 3 points. So to me, it is, before we delve into the issue of referee, what about the players? What about the teams? Are you organized as the defending champions? Like the current president is the defending champion. Is he organized to defend the victory? What about the people who are from opposition? Are you organized? And you must put your house in order. Previously, we were challenged. Ruto came from the in quote opposition and won against the system to win against the defending champs. So to me, this issue of IEBC properly constituted or not, it is not here or there. It is a constitutional body, a commission independent that can work exclusively minus interference by the politicians. You have heard people saying that we are going to steal, we have planned to steal. The same sentiments during the time when the Hazimio was in existence. Sabina Chege said, and I quote her, she was in Migori, that mnasema tu nyinyi mnajua kuiba, hata sisi tunajua kuiba hiyo kitu walipokuwa Azimio. These sentiments have been made before. So to me, I think let us not put them like they are realistic, because Sabina Chege threatened the UDA camp, but eventually the UDA camp won. So it is not guaranteed that if you threaten people that you are going to steal election, you are going to be declared. No, those are just threats, and they're preparing people psychologically that in case they declare opposition, they will go, in case they declare the defending champs, the opposition will riot that you people, you prophesy that you are going to steal. Actually, you have stolen our votes. Then vis-a-vis the other team. So to me, it is more of politicking, IEBC. And that's what's happening right now. Back to you, Makubura.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for giving us your take. I can also see some interactive engagement here, the comment section from Laban, Mabella, and Annie. Thank you so much. And if you're watching us for the first time, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. Kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Mr. Barak, what do you have to say about the conversation that we've been hearing about the IEBC, and what the IEBC has always been known for? You remember, 2017, there were some excuses that that the commission was instituted not in time, and that might have caused some problems towards when the elections were held. And from your understanding, Mr. Barak, and with the conversation which has started with the political class, some of them saying wataiba na inajulikana na kuna siri, some of them also coming out to criticize, and again, remember, the IBC is also coming at a point when the people of Kenya had waited and they have a lot of work to do. Do you think they have what it takes? And what is it that they are going to face? And how is it going to affect the whole, election process? Mr. Barak?
Thank you, Mark, for that. I think Miguda has really talked very well about the IEBC. So I think he has almost summarized everything about the IEBC. But let me just emphasize on the allegations that the IEBC officials are affiliated to politics. In Kenya, being a democratic country, at least everybody is affiliated to a party, except maybe the military, because even police these days they vote. But so you find that at one point you are a member of a political party, or you vied, or you held a political position. So unless we are looking for people who have never been members of a political party in Kenya, then we have to go for foreigners. But now the most important thing here is that the IEBC are referee in an election. They are not. They don't vote. Those millions of votes, the people that they count, those are votes that are voted in by Kenyans. So we need to look at IEBC as a referee, and not as thieves who are coming to rig in elections to favor specific candidates. And if that happens, that is election malpractice, and that's why we have the judiciary to intervene. The way the judiciary intervened in 2007, and the presidential election was nullified. And even we have governors that the elections were nullified. You remember Kidero, the first governors, even Wetangula as a senator, his election was nullified in the first election as a senator. So you find that we have even, I think even the governor of Kisumu, election was nullified. I can't remember if it was Kisumu or where, but we have seen governors, the election being nullified, members of parliament, several of them, even they go back to election and they lose their seat. You know, even Ugenya, for David Ucheng to come in as a member of parliament, the election of Karan was nullified in Ugenya constituency. So you find that if the IEBC does not do their work effectively, the judiciary is there to intervene. Yeah. So that is why our democratic system is very. It has several structures that ensure that at least, even though it is not 100% perfect, but at least it has a good rating approval from observers. So the reason why there is this allegation that the commissioners should be appointed in good time, if you remember the Kriegler report that investigated the post-election violence of 2007-2008, it is because they brought this recommendation because President Kibaki appointed commissioners to the then ECK barely 4 months to elections. And his argument was, the argument of Kriegler report was that these commissioners, when they came in, when they joined the IECK, they did not have enough time to get oriented to the system and to understand the functionality of ECK before general election. Because you can imagine bringing in commissioners 4 months to election, then they are confronted with the task of holding a general election. You know, Kenya general election is every election is carried on the same day, as opposed to different countries where they have staggered the election. The presidential election is one day, members of parliament are a different day. But in Kenya, for like under the 2010 constitution, 6 elections are held on the same day. So that is why Krieger report recommended that commissioners should be appointed when there is still sufficient time to learn the job and understand, so that they don't end up committing mistakes that will result in maybe another election violence. So the reason why, if you remember, the reason why Chebukati and his team were appointed late, maybe a few months to election, it is because the Isaac Hassan team was forced out by political interference. You remember CORD demonstrating every Monday at Anniversary Towers that Isaac Hassan must go home. And Jubilee, led by Uhuru Kenyatta, they gave into the pressure and they had a dialogue that was led by James Orengo and Kiraito Murungi. James Orengo as the Senate of Siaya, Kiraito Murungi as the Senate of Meru then. They had a joint committee that came up with this recommendation, and Isaac Hassan team were paid off to leave and they were given other appointments. That is why we had the Chebukati team being appointed few months to election. And you saw what the result was, nullification of the presidential election. So it is true, these people need time to understand, to get oriented and get to know the systems, so that once they organize the general election, they minimize, there's that minimal errors that might result into the same nullification of the presidential result or another electoral post-election violence. So, and that is why even as Kenyans right now, we need to be very concerned, because even this commission that has been appointed right now, the delay, it is not that they were appointed late. The delay was the court cases, where the first selection panel, Azimio went on the streets, they opposed the selection panel. When NADCO was formed, the first recommendation was disband the selection panel. It was disbanded. They tried to reconstruct it again, and Wiper went to court challenging the appointment of Koki Muli. I don't know, they wanted somebody else. The case has dragged on until the court proclaimed itself and said the selection panel should continue with their work. After they nominated the people, sent the names to the president, another court case. It has dragged until recently. You saw what happened. So it is because of court cases. That is why this formation of the constitution of IEBC has taken for over 2 years. It started in 2023. Right now we're in 2025. And because you cannot also constitute it if there's a case in court, because the constitution will be declared null and void, and that will be another waste of time and waste of taxpayers' money. So this commission, the concern here is this commission is supposed to be in office up to 2031. 2031, we have a general election in 2032. So what will happen in 1 year to ensure that we have another commission, because the chairperson cannot serve more than six years. His term is 6 years fixed, non-renewable. So that means that Ethekon is going to serve until 2031. Then he goes home. And we have a general election in 2032. So these are the things that should concern Kenyans, so that, if Ruto secures another term in 2027, he's going to retire in 2032. So 2032 election is going to be hotly contested, because there will be no incumbent. Yeah. So it's going to be an open space for all. So Kenyans should be concerned. That is why dialogue is inevitable, so that we try to correct these errors before they result in another post-election violence. So the formation of IEBC and the timeliness, it is very key. It was one of the recommendations in the critical report, so that these commissioners are not engaging in a job that they are not really, they don't have proper understanding of. And yeah, I think that is my take about the IEBC issue.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak, for giving us your take on what maybe the IEBC is going to face on their role of ensuring that there is free and fair election in the Republic of Kenya. We'll keep on having this kind of conversations so that we get to really know what is happening as as time goes by. Something else that I wanted us to talk about is the president has been losing. You can say that he's been losing huge support from the Mount Kenya region. And remember, he got 3 million out of the 6 million, out of the votes that he got. Majority of the votes were from the Mount Kenya region. He got around 2.9, approximately 3 million. And his close competitor, Raila Amolo Odinga, had around 800 and something. And, my question to you, Mr. Miguda, is with the Mount Kenya region having a different opinion on, the role that the service that the president has given to the people. And again, if you remember the demonstration in almost all the counties of the Mount Kenya, they participated in the demonstration. That is something that, there is a conversation that is currently going on. And it is, of course, a reflection that the Mount Kenya has deserted or has left the president. And remember again, out of the 22 cabinet secretary, almost 8, including the deputy president, is coming from the Mount Kenya. And some of the members of cabinet were elected so that after the impeachment of the former deputy president, with the thinking that possibly they were going to retain the popularity of the president in the Mount Kenya region, and that is contrary to what they were thinking. Currently, there's a serious revolt, and majority of leaders have actually left him, and the president is, of course, getting at a point where he's now understood that there's nothing that is going to get over there in the Mount Kenya region. My question to you, Mr. Miguda, how today you can speak about this as well. The former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua is in United States of America, together with Martha Karua and some close allies. And what he's going to do is, of course, to seek support from the people of Kenya who stays in diaspora. And from what we are seeing, he has had several engagements, and the call of one term is as is also going on in US, where we can say that is getting quite a good reception. My question to you is, we even saw him open a party office in United States. What is your take? Remember the diaspora community, they play a bigger role in somehow making decisions. Remember, they have the power to influence their relatives back at home. And again, remember, with the high cost of economy, things are very high. Those who have relatives in abroad, they have been supporting them back at home. And when someone is supporting you financially, sometimes they can always tell you that kindly don't select, if you get the opportunity, elect this person, and they will try to give you reasons, possibly convincing you that maybe if you elect that person, you'll not you might get to a point where they will not be assisting you or something like that. They have a role, and that is one thing that we have to accept. With again the people of diaspora coming out to to speak in a way that, or to show that they are also not happy with how the government of Kenya is being run. they are not happy with the state of the economy of the people of Kenya, and they're coming out to associate with the opposition. And remember, that has what we call political weight. And in politics, you understand, even one vote really means a lot. The narrative or the political language that the former deputy Rigathi Gachagua is using in the US is coming out to be to be working, is convincing the people of diaspora. And yesterday we had our good friend here, Dr. Njiru, who is also in the United States of America, and he was here to give us, the feeling and what was really happening in the United States. And from his conversation, his reporting, he did mention that from what he saw, because he was one of those people who attended, the people are welcoming the message of the former deputy president. And again, the people of diaspora are saying that for the first time, they are finding themselves having so many dependent, uh, from the people back home, that is the people of Kenya, something that they had never seen before. And they're saying that that is happening because the cost of economy is, the economy is not doing well according to them. And they're saying that the cost of operation and service, everything is too high. And that is somehow affecting, what they do in terms of support. And for that reason, they're coming out to also voice their, they're coming out to, just say that they're also not happy and they want an alternative. And remember, you also did mention something that as much as Rigathi Gachagua is loved, the people are not actually advocating for him to go for presidency. But what the people are asking is they just need his support to get someone else who is going to vie for presidency. His name actually is not being mentioned. How is that going to affect? How is the diasporan voice going to, affect or to sway the thinking of the people of Kenya on matters of, making the final decision? Mr. Migude, you can give us your take on that, and then Barack will also give his take.
First, I want to inform you that when Gachagua was impeached and he left the cabinet, actually the Kikuyu nation had already left William Ruto, because previously, before impeachment, we had some issues like the destruction of business in Nairobi and other pressing issues. So to me, I believe that Kikuyus already left. Gachagua has hijacked the people where the people were. Now Gachagua has joined them and is now going with them where they want to go. And I have been consistent, and I want to remain so, that William Samoei Ruto lost Mount Kenya. And it's because of the dynamics of the politics. It is because currently he's wooing Odinga and his supporters, and he's also wooing the Western people. And there's no way William Ruto can be loved by the Nyanza people, can be loved by the Western people, can be loved by the Rift Valley people. There must be a certain section of the country that must left him. That's obvious. And that's why the Kamba nation are aligning with the Kikuyu nation and other KC nation, because that is the nature of the politics. And remember, the Kikuks voted against Raila in 2022. So it's very much obvious. If the Ruto is with Raila, there's no way they can vote for them, the two. So they must have an alternative right now, because the two are not alternative. But that is not the reason why they left Ruto. They left Ruto because of other pressing issues before there. You understand? Before impeachment, there were some tweets, there was some conversation going on actually about William Ruto before impeachment. So I believe that the Mount Kenya already left, and that is where we are today. They are not going to back William Ruto. And I like citing one example on my argument. When we had the Pentagon in 2007, when Raila Odinga and William Ruto had some disagreements after the coalition government, When William Ruto left, even Kajwang, the late, said that he will be followed by 15 MPs. Raila was very much confident that because the Kalenjin nation had previously voted for me, I have the people, not the leaders. So let him go. And there were senior politicians like Franklin Bett, Henry Kosgei backing up Odinga. But little did we know that when Ruto joined Uhuru in 2013, the Kalenjin nation already had left the Pentagon. Now they voted for Uhuru Kenyatta. There was no way they could vote for Raila. That's why I still insist. There's no way Mount Kenya is going to vote for William Ruto. Even if he got the 3 million, even if the Mount Kenya backed him to no man, even that was his stronghold. That is gone. And that even the political scientists within the circle of William Ruto has actually advised him that the mountain is gone. He can no longer bank on the mountain. That's why previously, before election of 2022, he used to go to worship in Mount Kenya every Sunday because that was his constituent stronghold, and ignored other parts of the country because that Odinga was also running. Now, he has focused on the development towards Nyanza and empowerment of women in the coastal region because he's now wooing the base of Odinga. That's just politics. Why can't he focus on the development in Central? Because the interest has shifted. So to me, to respond to that question, the Mount Kenya people are already left. Now the issue of Rigathi going to the diaspora, and the diaspora people are like embracing him. At the same time, they are also part of the conversation that the Kenyan people need a reform, or the Kenyan people need a change, but Rigathi is not an option. I will agree with the diaspora people that actually there is a need for a transformation of this country. But the way they have stated clearly that Rigathi is not an option. And we have also argued here that Rigathi, there are many roles he can play. He can play midfield. He can be also on a technical bench. Because it doesn't mean, well, you know, when you win, it's a collective win for the entire team. It is not for the striker or defenders or the goalkeeper. We say, okay, this team has won. The entire team. In fact, when the entire team is being awarded, including the people on the technical bench. So Rigathi Gachagua can just decide to have a formidable team to face the defending champs, because you understand right now what we are dealing with. That is also, I want to join the diaspora to call him out that if they want reform, he is not an alternative. That has been argument. Then they always talk about the issue of DCP party and also the issue of the local, the local. We are pressing the international bros and sis to send us some things. I want to appreciate, usually they do, and they usually assist us much. So they should not cry because even the current political and economical environment is not favorable for a Kenyan person. So if any Kenyan reach them to assist back at home, it is good because they have to assist. That is just for their own will, which we are not coercing anybody to do so. But the issue is here that this economy is pressing to us, the people, and we appreciate what they have done to us. For some of us who have got friends abroad, we appreciate them for always remembering to contribute to our bills and expenses. We encourage them to do so, and that's why even Gachagua took a flight to United States, because he also believes that by visiting and explaining to them the real problems on the ground, he can mobilize funds from them and they can fund him. But what you have to also understand is that the diaspora people, they are usually allies to opposition. Remember Matiba. When Matiba was in opposition, he was an ally to the diaspora team. Raila Odinga has been a darling to the diaspora team for a long time because he has been in opposition. when he was being supported by the president by then, Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto was embraced by the diaspora. When Ruto went out, he actually go ahead and demonstrate that what we have in the country is more of a mongrel government, whereby you don't know where is opposition and where is the government. So to me, the opposition teams have always been a darling to the diaspora team. That is has always been there. And Gachagua also being a very quick student who learned very fast. He has jumped ahead of his peers. Now he's the person who is the darling of the diaspora, but they have a resolution. They have a reservation that actually, Rigiji, you can play another number, not necessarily number tisa, because number tisa we have to look for somebody else. So that is a good advice from them. And also we actually encourage him to expand the territory of DCP, because we are multi-party democracy. He's at liberty to expand his party even to the space. He is at liberty to expand the party even to the hair. No one is limiting Rigathi Gachagua. Just like any other person, let him also enjoy the democratic right and freedoms of association, forming political party, and also moving across the globe. Lastly, the issue of now the issue of the issue of people who are abroad embracing Gachagua message. To me, also sometimes to play with the fan base. If you go to your fan base, because people are saying, why is this speaking in Kikuyu? Why is that in Kikuyu? But we are telling the people, no, the states is big. This is just the beginning. Maybe he has initiated this program where there are many queues, but by the time we will be moving across the state until we reach where there are many people who are not queues, and we will move and even address people. Because even you understand what our bros from states told us, that there are even some states whereby if you visit, you'll find that most of them, they are Luos, and they are practicing the culture of the Luo. So I think that we cannot just criticize him that he has been engaging the Kikuyus. No, that it was just by chance that he met people like Njiru, and also he will be moving. He will not be stagnant in one state, because he's gonna spend like 2 months. 2 months is much for him to move in almost many states. So let us just give him time. It's too early to conclude the diaspora visit, because we expect to see much. So it's just the beginning. I think it's maybe 3 days. So we need to expect to see more going forward. But what I want to note is that it is obvious that if you are in opposition, you always speak the mind of the people, and you are always siding with the diaspora. That has been an history in this country. Back to you, Makubura.
Okay, thank you so much. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you are watching us for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us, and over here we'll just say a big thank you. Mr. Barak, the president has lost much in the Mount Kenya region, and immediately after the impeachment, he did some nominations, quite a number of popular politicians to his cabinet, but then that did not sort the issue that he was thinking he was going to sort. Currently, we are seeing a lot of revolt from the Mount Kenya leaders. And remember, he got almost 3 million votes. That is really key for any politician. With the Mount Kenya gone, and the conversation that is being carried forth by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua currently is in US, and is convincing the diasporian voters that the president has not delivered, that the president is not fit to continue holding that position. And is also saying that the lack of service that they've seen in that government, and a lot of issues to do with corruption, more of killings, abduction, things which are actually going against the constitution, are what are being seen in this government. And for that reason, the conversation he's having with the people in diaspora is getting into them, and they are getting convinced that truly things are not working. But again, the people of diaspora are also saying that, well, they want change. And they're also not speaking of Rigathi Gachagua as the president, but they're saying they want other options. And among those options, they want Rigathi Gachagua to support the option. Again, the people of diaspora, I think Mr. Barak, that their families somehow depend on them, and they have, they can sway, or they have a say. They can convince their loved ones or their relatives to, to vote in a certain way. How is that going to, affect the president, the 2027 election, and the conversation that Rigathi Gachagua is going on with in the United States of America? You can give us your take on that, and can also give us your take on what you think about the president losing the Mount Kenya, and the conversation that is going around that he's not really respected, and also he has not really respected or delivered much of what he had promised. Thank you, Barak. You can give us your take. Before you come, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Mary Wainaina at the comment section. Mary is saying Ruto forgets that the government is us and for us, not for him. Thank you so much, Mary, for giving us your take. And Mr. Barak, karibu. Barak, can you hear me? I don't know whether Barak is having some problem with his mic or internet. Yeah, before he comes in, we are having a discussion on, what is happening in the country, and of course, trying to give our views on the tour of the tour to the United States of America, where Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, are touring the United States of America. We saw the former deputy, opened an office for his political party, the DCP, and he did have an engagement with the people, and the people are having their opinion as well, and that is part of what we are
Can you hear me?
having. Yes, I can hear you. You can proceed, Mr. Barak.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, you are clear now. I can hear you. Proceed. Hello. Okay, I think Mr. Barak is having a problem with. Yes, proceed. I can hear you now.
Sorry, I was having a problem with my mic.
Okay.
Unanipata sasa?
Yes, you are clear. I can hear you.
Oh, thank you for those questions. I think first of all, the way my brother Miguel has put it very clearly. Yeah, the president lost Mount Kenya before the impeachment of the then deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. So it is Gachagua who followed the people. The people did not follow Gachagua because he also realized that the mountain has left the government. And I think even the impeachment was a blessing in disguise because it cemented the relationship between him and his people, because somehow he was pushed to follow the people where the people are. So even if Ruto appoints all the 22 CS from Mount Kenya, that will not bring the people back, because the people already left. And if you look at even the previous elections, how people have voted in a protest. In 2007, Kibaki's vice president was Moody Awori. Moody Awori lost even his member of parliament seat in Funyula. He lost to Polo Tuoma. And many cabinet ministers then lost the election who are coming outside Mount Kenya. They were all sent back.
Mr. Barak, I don't know if you can hear me.
So this tells you that sometimes giving people positions does not guarantee votes from there, from where they are coming from. So it is important for him just to chart his own path minus the most of the votes from Mount Kenya.
Barak, can you hear me? Yeah, I think Barak is having a problem with his internet. Is not coming out clear, and maybe we'll wait for him to come and finish his take. Mr. Miguda, the president talked about shoot to kill. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. My brothers are having a problem with their internet. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're watching us for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. Here we say that your opinion counts. If you want to also join the studio, I've shared a link at the comment section. You can just click the link, it will direct you, and maybe you can give your take as well, as as we wait. Mr. Barak, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Brother Ben, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I don't know whether it's my network or my brother's network, because I just saw Miguda dropped, Barak dropped, and I can't clearly hear him. Maybe before Barak sets his internet, you can also give us your take.
Okay. Are they back yet?
Yeah, I'm seeing Barak, but I don't know whether you can hear me. Barak, can you hear me? Mr. Barak, I think he's still having a problem with the internet. Yeah, maybe you can proceed. I don't know whether you have time.
I can contribute if you tell me where to start from or where.
Yeah,
to
okay.
add.
We've talked about quite a number of things, and
Yeah.
maybe I can just give you an overview. You give your take on what you will be able to give your take on. The first topic that we were looking at is the deputy president, together with the close allies of the president. They are moving around the country and saying that they are doing what we call empowerment. Mr. Barak, are you back? Barak?
Can you hear me, Bamak?
Yes, I think you can proceed first, and then maybe later can give Benson a chance. You can finish your statement. Proceed. Barak? Uh, okay. I don't know. Benson, maybe you can just come in and give your take. I think I don't know what the problem is.
Okay,
Yes.
you're talking
Yeah.
about the deputy president.
Yes, the deputy president is moving around in in the name of doing empowerment, and in that movement, there are people who are saying that they're also goons. That I mean, they're also they're hiring some youths and moving with them to those places, and those youths are actually causing chaos. Today, what we see, for example, in around in Kiambu County, is some youths were taken so that they can fill the stadium, but then they turned and then started checking, what was being given to the people, and that is one of the things that the people of Kenya have come out to criticize, because they're saying that with the government or the politicians embracing goons, it's going to do what we call a serious harm for the country. And they're also coming out to support the issue of dialogue. And the question that I did ask Mr. Barak and Miguda here is, we've not seen the president himself come out and try to talk about or to request or to even speak about the dialogue. Him, what he's saying is he's having a conversation that is somehow different. More of his wordings has been like threats. And so today the president was saying that it is the parents who are inciting their children to go to the street, and that they should stop their children from going for demonstration. And uh, but on the other side, the deputy and some members of parliament, they're also coming out to call for dialogue. And so the question we're asking is, what is really the stand of the government in these matters, and what are the role of these members of parliament? What are they really doing in these matters? That is
Okay.
number one.
Mhm.
Maybe allow me to just give an overview, then you can just generalize. Again, we've also talked about the IEBC, where the IEBC was just brought in place the other day. But at this point, we've seen politicians coming out, some of them on the side of government, saying that wataiba na kuna siri, and on the other side, the opposition, they're saying they're criticizing the IEBC and even the other members of parliament. And remember, the 2017 general election, some of the questions which were raised or that were, the judges talk about were the timelines that the IBC came in. It was said that there could be a possibility that they were not really prepared to handle the election because of the time that they came in. So with the IBC coming out to clarify that they have the capacity, and of the consistent conversation. I mean, bad mouthing from the political side to Taiba. You know, you remember 2022 general election, this issue also came up, and the issue of state power and all those things came. With now the president seeking again a re-election, and the IEBC is new, and his closer allies are coming out to say that wataiba na kuna siri, how is that going to affect the IEBC and even the general view of the Republic of Kenya, those who are interested or have different opinion on whether to support the president, those who have the opinion of supporting the president? Do they really think, I mean, where will they, what do they really think? Is the ground really levelized? You can also give your take on that, and then the travel to the US, that is by Rigathi Gachagua and his close allies. And Rigathi seems to be, getting support from the diasporians. Yesterday, we had a conversation with Dr. Njiru. He was trying to brief us on, he did attend that. He was trying to brief us on what he saw. And he's saying that those people have welcomed the conversation that is going on. And then they're saying that they want someone else, and they're saying that Rigathi needs to support someone else. They are not even mentioning Rigathi as a presidential candidate. And they also gave their reasons. They're saying that there's high dependency rate currently from their people from home, and that clarifies the fact that things are not working back home, that is in Kenya. What do you have to say about all those, things?
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura, for the opportunity. To begin with, we talked yesterday about some of the pronouncements that are made by politicians. To be precise, the recent one being the Wajir Member of Parliament, Fatuma, where she talks about to Taiba, like all the leaders from Northeastern, especially will steal the votes, if you know. But that one undermines the constitution in the very first place, because the constitution of Kenya outlines what usually happens in circumstances when people are going to vote. Secondly, it also undermines the IEBC that has been given the power by our constitution to conduct the election. If a member of parliament or an elective member of that particular area can come out to say that and make such pronouncement, and we know the background of our election, especially when it comes to presidential election, where it is usually very fragile, whereby it is not quite very much easy to know or to determine who has won the election, because we've had so many of such cases whereby people going to court. But this is a situation whereby an elected leader is making such pronouncement that is undermining the constitution. So I think as leaders, as much as we are talking of a country, but majority of times those who have been of great chaos, or those who have been like creating such like destabilizing a country politically, are the words that are being spoken by the leaders, because they tend to influence people emotionally and whip the emotions of the people. So that is one. Then secondly, you talked about especially what the president was saying about the talking with the parents, and that's where the departure is. I think like majority of the leaders, um, we still do not, we still do not know, we still ignore the problem. The problem is not talking about to the children and even the churches coming in. The problem is solving the issues that are affecting people, because we know what are the things that are affecting Kenyan people right now. Even if you go back to the village, people will tell you high cost of living. That is one of them. People will tell you sometimes they find challenges with things to do with medical care, yeah, and the deficit in our leadership. And when I talk about our leadership, it includes us as voters and also the people that have been given the mandate in various leadership positions. So we have that lack of that leadership, and these are what are causing. And once these things cannot be solved or cannot be given an attention, that one is what is going to make people to go to the street, because the people are going to the street because there are some of the things that are not being addressed. Things like corruption, it's not talking about to the children. If talking to the children, children have been talked to. People have had, and the churches these have talked to the children, but you still find them going, because there are things that there's that link that is missing. So I think like it is high time, especially the political class, they came back to their senses and know what exactly is ailing the country. They know, not that they don't know, they know. So that is I can also talk about that now. Come to the tour of the Rigathi Gachagua. I think Rigathi Gachagua is having his moment. I think yesterday also I had I had a conversation with one of uh, uh, one of Kenyan citizen who attended the rally, and you know they have, like, people have different opinion, especially towards especially to the rally, because there are those who are saying, okay, the majority of people who attended the rally, as we're having a conversation, were the people from mountain, and that one also I think was echoed yesterday by Barack. And there's also those who are also saying that this is not something that is going to be actualized. But for me, what I've seen, or what I think is that it has an impact, whether it is a particular region that is supporting you or not. Because remember, campaigns is all about money, yeah, and the energy that you could see from those photos, it tells you that if they are ready to support Rigathi Gachagua, especially financially, and that one will help with the logistic of the campaign. And also, you can also see the impact of Rigathi Gachagua. Right now, if you see the opposition, it is not very much active, you know. So when you look back and forth, so where I'm going to will make a very good judgment. I'm looking at Boston because I know Boston too. There are quite a number of different Kenyans who are there, and I will see how the population is going to be in Boston, and God willing, we will have somebody to give assist us to do the live show from Boston. So that will be a very determinant place that I'll be watching. So, but all in all, in terms of politics, is doing okay. To me, I would say that he has done more than what you would expect him based on the fact that where he came from. Now, talking about the economic empowerment, I concur with Barack 100% about the economic is what he said about making people poor. Because remember, when you come to empower, just imagine you are empowering, but you're not creating an environment whereby those you are giving, those even those who are supporting their business can thrive. You know, so you're just giving this huge sum of money, yet when you look at the business environment for those kind of like business, you find it very hard that they cannot thrive based on maybe the taxes that are there. Then secondly, it is you find that the empowerment sometimes is targeting a particular people or a particular gender. For instance, if you're very keen enough, the empowerment of deputy president, it has 100% of it has targeted the women. Yeah, that is the 100% of it has targeted the women. And when you look at that, and remember, there's also some youths who are going through the same. So, however much you may empower that only the women, what about the other generation, let's say the young people, you know? So to me, it doesn't create more impact, but it's also as is a political engagement, you know, to make people believe that you are working. And maybe to conclude, another thing that I think like deputy president is using this uh, political kind of like strategy is to encounter Gashagwa. Because remember when the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua used to be there, it was not an activity then, but now it is the activity of the day by the deputy president, and he walks around the country with this and the money that they give out. So you find that the individuals are giving more money even than the government that they work on. You know, if look at these millions that are being given each and every day, and look at what is being discussed in the podium, what happened especially with the women, especially our mothers, you know, how they talk about the two term, which is a political slogan, but how they put it in a way that is demeaning, especially to them, and even to the children or to the public, especially us, when you're talking about the politics on how, you know, where when it is turned to a bedroom affair. So I think that's my observation.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see a good friend Nyakairu at the here. Let me take the opportunity to welcome Nyakairo and pia yeye akuja atuambie what he thinks about the deputy president moving around in the name of empowerment, and is moving around with some members of parliament, the likes of Honorable Ishungwa, Honorable Osoro, and like today they were in Kiambu, and there was some fracas there, and it is being said that they had paid, they had moved with some youths to to fill the the arena so that it will be seen that, you know, they have supporters. And then these young men turned out and, you know, started taking things and properties of the people that they were, you know, that were receiving the empowerment. And so it's something that people are also talking about currently. Again, there's a call of dialogue. The likes of, you know, the deputy president is speaking about dialogue. Honorable Soro, you know, close allies of the president are speaking about, you know, need for dialogue. But my question to you is, do you think the president himself, you know, we've not heard him speak about the dialogue. What he spoke about today is the parents need to, you know, train their children. Ati ni kama kana kwamba ni wazazi ndio wana nini, they're doing what we call incitement. And, you know, what is your take on what the DP is doing with close allies of the president, and, you know, the stand of the president himself in matters of dialogue, which is also being propelled by Raila Amolo Odinga and, you know, close allies? Nyakairu?
Thank you so much. I've been following you guys, and I say hello to you. I don't see the names, but I say hello to everybody there. And
okay, thank you so much. Maybe if you're joining, do not leave before you subscribe, because we do have this conversation. You can always find time and join and give us your take.
All right, thank you. I say hello, even the people in the comment section. I hope everybody is doing great while we are fighting for our country. First of all, I would say the government belongs to the people, doesn't belong to Ruto. Ruto is there for a season, but he is not there permanently. And he needs to change, to man up the way he governs the country, the way he rules, the way he puts out his leadership. First of all, I would say Kenyans are very patient. They waited for the first time when this occurred in 2024. They were still seeing signs of bad things happening in our country. But they kept on watching until it came to their throat that they had to vomit. And that is what happened in 2024, because things were going so fast and so bad. And so people did not want to welcome that. And when they tried, this is the outcome of killing people, not to say anything. And that was the time people realized we are dealing with a very hostile person. Again, talking about this rigging of election, that's a sign of defeat. Already they have accepted they have been defeated. So that is why they are talking like this, to keep us aware of the illegal or evil things that they are going to do to election. But we are not going to relent. We know you have done that many times, and we know you are capable to do it, and we are not going to accept. Things are not real good for you, Ruto. The way you are talking, sending your goons to talk about that, to keep us aware that you are going to rig, we have the answer for that. The other thing is, when he went to Northeastern, he spoke about it. And he started making ways of how many Somalians should come to Kenya and be given IDs. Ndwale spoke about it too. And these other goons from other corners, they said they know how to kujaza zikikosa kutosha. So what are they telling us? You know, you cannot prepare a country for a war because you have the machinery. And you cannot force people to accept things that you are trying to tell us so that we keep quiet. We are going to deal with it as much as we can. It's not going to happen Already we know you can rig the election, but we also will advance in a different point. The other thing I want to say is rigging is against the constitution, of which they keep on talking about constitution, which they have already abandoned. They are doing with their own heads, but not about constitution. But when it comes to their side, that they want to show people they are working with constitution, that is when they stand with the constitution, trying to confuse people. But they failed long time ago. They have gone out of constitution long time ago. In fact, these people ought not to be in the office at all. They need to have gone long time ago, because constitution is the rule of the day of our country. Look at how the government trying to bribe people with this empowerment. That is bribe. Where were they? It's just because they have seen people have walked away from them. They are trying to look for incentives that they can give people so that they can come to them. But what I'm seeing is there is a lot of reject. They have been rejected, and many things are not going well for them. And that is where they start now throwing bullets to people because they are angry. As same as the leader who is of a country, the whole nation, could stand on a podium and start telling people should be shot on their leg. What have they done to you? And we have never seen even a goon being shot on their legs either. But people, innocent people, are being shot to their head. Others are shot on their leg. People who are coming from their job, they are not even protesting. And a protesting is a given constitution law. It is supposed to happen. Even I don't see the reason why we should have people with the bullets on the streets for a given constitution right that people can protest. Things have really gone wrong because the government is using different way of leadership, but they don't want to adopt the constitution. But where it favors them, they go to it. Really, this is not a good thing, and Ruto should stop using propaganda. For constitution stands very well, and it relates with the people very well, and people knows their constitution, and you are going against it, and yet you want to deal with them perpendicularly by killing them, shooting on their legs. That cannot happen. A president, a real president, cannot stand on a podium and shout the word shoot. That single word, shoot, that means a lot for the country. You are trying to make people fear. You are making people fear in their own country. How about if Al-Shabaab come? How will they react? So for us, we are looking to have a calm country whereby people can excel and do their businesses as usual. People get what they deserve from a government that is decent with integrity. But now what there is, the so-called president is fighting with his own people. Who will be right? Kenyans are not crying for nothing. They are not crying wolf. They are crying for what has not been done. And the country is really in bad shape. It has gone down slowly by slowly because these people don't want to do anything, but they want us to assume that they have done something so that we keep quiet. Kenyans are not created that way. They are created to shout where they see things are not going right. I hate when people start talking about democracy in our country. Kenya has no democracy. Democracy does not treat people like the way this fake government is treating people. Democracy does not incite people. Democracy does not kill people. Democracy has allowed people to protest. And if there was anybody who have done wrong, should be arrested and taken to court. But I don't see how you can kill people because of protesting. It is allowed through the Constitution, and all what people are asking is what you have not done, of which you promised. Now that you have not done what you promised, you get angry more than Kenyans who want the service to be done, which has taken too long, and you don't have even plan to do those services, but the plan you have is to kill them and prevent them to tell you what they want you to do. So how can the country go forward? People don't want dialogue. We have done these dialogues, we are tired. It doesn't materialize in the end. It benefits a few, and Kenyans are left out. And Kenyans are crying loud. The echo is still there on the street that people want their service and they want their country back. You are defeated by the job you are given, the job that you really convinced Kenyans that you can do, and you have done zero. And yet you want to kill them because they are telling you your mistakes. These mistakes are the one driving Kenyans to tell you you must go. Even they wish you are gone yesterday because they are not expecting anything. Dialogue with you means nothing because you have lied many times. You have given us figures that does not work. You repeat the figures. Sometimes you forget what you said yesterday because it's a lie. We cannot live like this. We need our country. All these things, Ruto, you should go to your conscience and think what you have done and what you have failed to do. But we don't have time for you to go sit down and think what you have not done. We have time for you to get out so that we can move forward. Our country deserves better than what is going on. So for me, I say Ruto does not have chance to be in our country, does not have chance to be our leader. A person who threatened his nation, and yet when you are threatening them, killing them, you tell them you are going to rig election. You're gonna rig that election and go rule elsewhere, but not in Kenya. We are not going to relent. We are not going to let you do that. You keep on saying that we are complaining and you are doing things. Which things have you done? Everybody is crying. It does not mean Kenyans are crying because of nothing. And you know that. You know you have not done anything. You go and put those, you erect some sign to show that you have launched a certain project. And then even today, nobody has ever visited that project place, location. You expect us to keep quiet. And yet even the money for the country is being spent for all these projects which have never been erected. So we find you liable of all the problems that Kenyans people are facing. And we cannot continue in such a situation. Everything that you have done is only to clarify that you are not eligible for this job, but you want to force yourself in it. We are done with you, and we hope everything works for our own good, but not with you. Thank you, and that is my take. Asanteni sana.
Okay, thank you so much. Before you leave, there's something else that I wanted you to give your take on. Specifically the tour of the former deputy president to the United States of America, where he met quite a number of Kenyans living in the US. And, the call is, they understand that things are not working. And they're also saying that, yes, we need someone who can fix the country. But again, as much as Rigathi Gachagua is loved, the people are saying it should not go for presidency, but it should support someone. So, what do you have to say about his tour to United States of America and the conversation he had with the people, the challenges that the people told him, and all those. We also saw him. He even opened an office in the United States, uh, the party's office, and how significant is that to the people living in diaspora? You'll give us your take on that, and then the use of satire in politics. We've seen consistent demonstration in the Republic of Kenya, and the demonstration started in June 24th, 2024, but it has continued. And sometimes the comments of the political leaders are the ones that motivates the youth to go to the street. Sometimes the happenings, like the other time, we remember the death of that gentleman, Mr. Albert. That, of course, brought people to the street. And then currently, when the youths are not on the street, they're on social media, whether in Facebook, whether in TikTok, and they're using, of course, AI to speak their voice. It is a continuous conversation which is not stopping. Currently, they're not on the street, but the use of satire, the use of AI generated images, where even music currently there's a song, mguu moja, one lege, and that kind of things. The conversation and the whole, the whole movement is still continuing. But what we are seeing is the political class led by the president is not really addressing that. And remember, if it is not addressed, then there's a possibility of the country going to experience consistent demonstration, which might then get us to somewhere else. What do you think about that? And what do you think again about the consistent, do we say threats or bad language by the political class, which the youths or the young people are seeing, like, they're saying that as much as they have the genuine reasons which they're presenting before the leaders that they are elected, they are not really ready to listen, but instead they are only concerned about their matters. And that is why you saw there's a member of parliament who died, and the people of Kenya did not really hawakushughulika, wakasema ya kwamba we move on. And there's a time in parliament when the issue of deaths of Gen Zs also was brought forth before the parliament. The same members of parliament, one of them actually came out and said that we move on, like it's not a big deal, kind of. What do you have to say about such kind of comments and the stand of government and Rigathi in US?
In general, about diaspora, what you see happening in Kenya, it is also affecting people in diaspora. We have families back home, and when we hear things going wire, we are worried. Everything that we were doing before is not working now. We had been supporting our families back home. It has become so expensive. We have got people who are in hospital. We cannot be able even to afford to pay for their bills. Neither do they have even enough medication. So all these, it's not affecting people who are in Kenya only. It is affecting even diasporians. And when we have peace in our country and we are out of the country, we feel connected, we feel comfortable, we feel happy, and we are able to do the much we can for our country. But it has become a messy country due to the effect of how things are not going well. So in simple way, once our country is in a mess, we are also in a mess, because there is no way that we can forget we have other family in our country. being out of the country does not mean that that is forever. We need services that our people can enjoy, and so that we can connect properly. For example, now people even started feeling that they can't speak on the phone because they are being what do we call what is it called, like when people are being tapped, their phones are being tapped. So everybody is like, even people in diaspora cannot communicate with their family. And
Like
maybe
they're
it is
being
how
tracked.
life matters. They are being tracked. And so they fear to find themselves in those chaos or those bad things that are happening, being killed for no reason, being abducted for no reason. And so that is the fear that the country is. And Ruto think that when we fear him is when he is a hero. But he forgets these people. They are fearing him because he is doing bad things which are not condoned by even other country. He is spoiling his name and his reputation building with all what he is doing. But he think he is terrorizing our country, our people. He called people criminals, and he is the criminal. He called people terrorists. He is the terrorist. Because how comes that you can allocate kind of vehicles to be going around when people have gone manyumbani mwao, wanaenda kuuliwa huko ama wanaenda kuwa abducted? That is terrorism also. Kenyans are just doing their protest during the day, and in the evening they go home. And what they are saying is what you have not done for them, what you promised. Then you shouldn't have promised. And in fact, if you did not promise what you promised, they would not have voted for you. You would not even be in that office. So being in that office, remember those words, those sweet words you used to people so that they put you there. And now you have changed. You have become a lethal person, killing them. So for me, I say about diaspora, Gachagua came, he was received very well. He have talked with the diasporian have made their decision. It could be other who doesn't not support, but the majority supports what Gachagua is saying. And for him, he did not declare to be a president. He said they are all together and they will decide who will be the flag bearer. So those are things that people should not start talking about. We are talking about the peace of our country first, so that we can arrange ourselves. Gachagua is a good, decent man who have tried to inform people the truth of the matter, what is going on, because people in Kenya, they might think that we are not getting the news. We are getting the news, but now we got it from the horse's mouth. So for me, I would say Gachagua is doing his best to make Kenyans understand that we have got a rogue government that is doing all the evil things they want to do, is installing so much pain in people everywhere. Parents are losing their children. Some, they don't know even where they are. And so for that reason, I would say there is nothing more than a country, a stable country, whereby those who have gone out can come back. Lakini sasa imekuwa ni shida hata kurelate na familia yako back home. So what is good there? Does Ruto think that he is being hated for no reason? Let him not sit back and say that he is going to deal with us like to shoot on our legs so that he can live there ruling forever. That is not going to work, and it is not going to happen in Kenya. Kenya is a different country. People have fought for the independence. They have been killed. People have fought for the constitution. that people stand for and which gives them the mandate of how to rule the country. So for him, let him go and study that constitution again and see that there is one part that tells him to get out of that office as soon as possible. We don't need to teach him anything. He knows everything, and he is just trying to ignore the part that relates with the people and start using lethal weapons to discredit the people who are fighting for their rights. We are here to stay, and that is our country. As far as I also heard him say, if no Ruto, no country. You were born just the other day. There are people who are older in that country, and they have been in that country. Some are there who fought for this country. And you say that no Ruto, no country. We are not going to take that lightly. We know what you mean. And that does not give you warrant to be in that office. Hawezi kuwa unatolea watu amri like we are slaves in our own country. Our country deserves better, and so Ruto should not tell us if he is not there, no Kenya. That is a big, big insult for Kenyans who fought for that country. Kwa hivyo aachane na nchi yetu, yeye afanye maajabu yake pahali ataweza, and I hope he leave that office as soon as possible, because he will be ashamed of what he is trying to plan. Asante.
Continue kidogo. Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda.
And
What
I'm
do you have
not
to say
going
about?
to say, sorry, I'm not going to say two-term, as this guy keep on saying, ati tuseme two-term. Be informed that
I
our
think
country.
Joseph is Mabele is just joking. I don't think he's serious. He's you know, he likes using some I don't know how to call it. He likes speaking in how do we
Parables?
say it? In parables, yeah. So if
I hope
you,
he does.
yeah, that's what he's doing. If you just read it that way, then you might not get what he's saying, but he's just speaking in parables. He's a good friend. We do have him over here at the show, and he has always given his comments without fear. So maybe I'll come back to you. Let me just ask our host, our friend here, also to just give his remarks, and then I'll come back with you with final question. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Miguda, wewe unasemaje kuhusu the use of satire in politics, which is consistent, and the use of satire itself is in one way I can say it's continuing with the revolution which had started. It's the demonstration is continuing in a way that you cannot really tell. It is going on social media. Leo hii kuna ngoma imetolewa ile inaitwa one lege, and it's really trending. At the same time, there are AI generated photos of people moving in crutches and in wheelchairs, and even if you remember when President Kibaki came to power, he was on a wheelchair, and that image is also being said that as much as we are going through problems, I mean, those who are creating them, they're saying as much as we are going through problems, there is hope that there's something coming forth. So Miguda, maybe you can give your take on that, and then I'll now fully engage. I mean, let me give Joseph a chance first.
Today I don't have too much to say. I just wanted to greet you, Brother Miguda and Kevin. Today I don't have much to say. I'm just silent. And I wanted to greet Madam Mary and tell her lazima tuseme two-term.
I think she's listening. I think she's listening. We appreciate. I hope you are doing good.
Yeah, I'm okay today. I'm just relaxed.
Leo nakaa mpole sana, ukuangi mpole hivyo. Hata ndio maana hata dada yetu hapa Ani anashangaa ni
No,
nini
no,
inaendelea.
I was just chatting with them in the comment section. Sometimes I like to be in the comment section. So,
Okay, very well.
thank you. I was listening to the debate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for finding time to say hi. We hope that ukipata nafasi utajiunga pia utupe maoni yako.
Okay, brother.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph. Miguda, what do you have to say about the use of AI and all these things? And then maybe you can finally give your final remarks. Miguda?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, proceed.
Uh, Joseph is today school. Joseph is school. So December 1, December 2 term. He's just making some fun. He's making our sister to take him serious. You know, I know you cannot say it to term. That is just a way of maybe you want to engage other people. The only person who can say two term confidently is Laban Misiani and Douglas Kibogong. Those are the people who are two term. Anyway, I like the use of satire and the use of AI because right now those are emerging. I can just say they are evolving technology advancement, whereby people are trying to embrace the new advancement in the area of technology. And I like the fact that Kenyan people are actually embracing and they are using it, and more so in political arena, whereby they're trying to make it look like it is one of the part and parcel of emerging new technology which is going to be used going forward. And I like it because the younger generation are actually making good use of it. I'll just encourage the use of those AIs and satire objectively, and they should use it positively and critic positively and objectively. And it's good because when Ruto said that shoot them on the leg, yani it means like there's no any address you can make without people getting you a rebuttal. What I can say, people can revert because they shoot one leg, the song run one leg, and the fact that we had a president who was once having a problem with the feet, and we swore him on a wheelchair. So it's very good that the fact that you have been shot on the leg doesn't limit you that you cannot become the president. It is significant that in this country we have had a president sworn in on a wheelchair. So even if a Raya is shot on the leg, he can go ahead and even vote in the polling station. Actually, he can move to the polling station with a wheelchair. So I think it's one of the morale that is boosting the revolution, and the emergence of songs, emergence of those satire AIs, and you have had people trying to have songs like Rex alitoa roho yake kukomboa Kenya na mi pia natoa roho yangu ili nikomboe Kenya. So there are things that are emerging, creativity, and I like it because it's coming with the young people. Because even if we have him right now as the president, at the end of the day, the country or the future belongs to us. But the people who is going to run this country in the next 10 years going forward, not Ruto or the current administration. It is the young people. So it is good for the young people to come so that they can take positions, they can realign with the emerging technology, because it will also applicable to them where they are in these positions. Those critics, the Gen Alpha will criticize them using those AIs and also satirical means. So to me, I believe that is a good thing, a good move for people to proceed. And I just encourage them that they should go on. You know, if you try to bring any issue that is emerging, for instance, either side, be it opposition or government, there's a way they can respond to you. And the AI, TikTok is a faster means to communicate to the people, because you understand even the issue of most of TikTok. I like TikTok because TikTok you can converse with the people in a millisecond. That the message is being communicated. The raw message get to the people directly and within a short period of time, because people are sharing, liking, and even they're being shared on the X space. So it reach you very easy, very fast. And that's why you can't do anything about it. Because if you arrest a TikToker, there are not only two TikTokers. We have millions of TikTokers. So how are you going to arrest millions of them? Are you going to kill millions of them? So it's something that's not going to stop today. Even you say that, even if you tell people enough is enough, even if you tell people that parents caution your children, even if you tell people that shoot their leg or shoot to kill. But the good news is it is not gonna stop, because you have seen them. They try to kill people, they try to abduct people, they try to maim people, they try to threaten people, intimidation, but it's not working. When people wake up in the morning, their creativity in emerging new things, and that's the way to go. I think you just need to adapt and adjust with the current situation, because that's where we are. You cannot get us back. We are moving forward in the technology industry, the high emerging, and even nowadays you have seen them, the newspapers. They speak on the newspapers. They are giving you the previous when he was promising people and what he's doing currently in the newspapers, in the high, and even you have seen them trying to make Didan Kimathi to get out of the Kimathi street. Jomo Kenyatta is being taken out of the KIC so that we can go and fight, all of us, including the ancestors. They are trying to awaken their spirits that they can come out to fight for the right of the Kenyan people. So to me, I think we are not limited. People should just continue pressing, either way, online, AI, because provided that you are within your rights and freedom, there's no cause for alarm. And my last remark, Makubura, you went around. I just want to say that first, I would like to appreciate our viewers for coming to the show to have view and also engage in the comment section. I saw our good friends. I saw Mabella number one. I saw Annie. I saw Judith. I saw Laban Misiani. I saw, I don't know, Polytech. I saw some two people there, new faces. I saw Maina, Wainaina. I saw our new sister. We just appeal to you that for the people who are watching for the first time, kindly you can subscribe to the channel. You can as well like, share the video, and you can also give us the thumbs up on the video. Or just want to state that we hope that one day we're gonna reform this country, and we should have a meaningful and objective discussion, so that we reform it for us and the Gen Alpha, Gen Delta, and the coming ones. We wish you all the best, and all of you have a blessed evening from my end. Back to you, Makobura.
Okay, thank you so much to for giving us your take. We really appreciate everyone who joined us tonight. We really appreciate. And however, I want to say thank you so much. And if you are new here, kindly just like and subscribe to this channel. If you do so, it's a way of supporting us, and we'll say a big thank you. I want to really appreciate everyone who joined and contributed, everyone who engaged us at the comment section. Thank you so much. We don't take it for granted. You took your time at this night to join us and to give your take. We really appreciate. and I want to wish you all the best. I'm taking the opportunity now to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.